We're taking a road trip through one of Australia's strangest towns. It's a place that sits way out in the western plains of New South Wales. Dry, mostly flat, and absolutely full of character. This town is known for black opals, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface. People here build castles with no plans, carve entire art galleries underground, and relax in naturally boiling water that smells like eggs. We're spending the next couple of days seeing what makes this town so strange, so creative, and maybe a little brilliant. Welcome to Lightning Ridge.
Now, this land hasn't always been red dirt and scrub. About 100 million years ago, it was the floor of a vast inland sea. Dinosaurs lived, roamed, and died here. And as the sea dried up, their bones, along with ancient plants and shells, were buried deep in the soft seabed. Rainwater seeped through the earth, carrying silica into every little crack. Over time, that water evaporated, leaving behind fine layers of silica that hardened into something bright, bold, and almost unbelievable. Opal.
Look at that. How cool is that? We got that for free.
And because the conditions here were just right, Lightning Ridge is the only place in the world where you'll find opalized dinosaur bones. It also holds about 95% of the world's black opal, the most prized of them all. But there is another story that lives out here. The Uluru people, the traditional custodians of this land, tell of a great wheel of fire that fell from the sky long ago. And when it struck the earth, it shattered, scattering stones filled with all the colours of the rainbow. And that's how the opals came to be. And honestly, when you hold one of these tiny galaxies trapped in rock, it kind of feels like both stories could be true.
Okay, so I'm really excited. We did just book the double tour. Despite the price tag, I'm so excited. I don't remember feeling this sort of childish giddiness of excitement for a long time. And even Sol is kind of keen.
I'm really excited. It's going to be cool.
Lightning Ridge has been formed on the edge of the inland sea called Eromanga. So we have a lot of fossil pits. That's Pippi shell. It is absolutely guaranteed there is nothing more sure. You will hit opal in that next 6 to 8 feet. It's there, plenty of it. Right? If you don't, you go another 6 to 8 feet. If I see something like that, all production stops, tools hit the ground, every bit of light you got, you focus on that point. And you pull out the little gouging pin, and you take a wide berth. So you slowly and carefully work out that beautiful, precious piece of colour. You are the first person on this planet ever to see it. Before you were there, it did not exist. And you'll never see another one like it. Every opal is unique.
After nearly an hour deep in mining talk with Joe at a very modest 18 metres or so, we came up just slightly to a modest 12 metres underground, where an entirely different world unfolded.
Yeah.
What?
This was the Sandstone Gallery of Ron Canlon. Now, he bought the claim back in the early 80s, chasing black opal like everybody else.
What?
Oh my god, I didn't see that. Oh. It is so cool. It's like Star Wars.
Not even like it.
It is Star Wars. There's Darth Vader and stuff. This is huge.
Is this the Last Supper?
I mean, that's what the guy was saying. I think it is the Last Supper.
And in between his mining, he carved into the walls on his lunch break. Over time, he created 26 different chambers and more than 800 sculptures in the sandstone. And he did it all with a butter knife. Now, he didn't pull much opal from the ground, so he carved stories into it instead.
He's also dotted little wallies everywhere. Just gotta find them. There's another wally. Who said you needed to go to Italy to see the statue of David? There's old mate there. Another wally. Another wally. Another wally.
If the ground under Lightning Ridge is filled with treasure, then above it is a patchwork of human hope. This is a town where people still peg a claim, dig a hole, and go looking for fortune. Fortune? And go looking for fortune. Blech.
That was weird.
And go looking for riches. And the people who dig, they are a different breed. We met old blokes in pubs, sipping beers with red dust on their boots and stories that stretch the truth just enough to stay interesting.
And one always gets filled up.
Some came here decades ago, and some never left. Others drift in, chasing solitude or a second shot. They are tinkers, gamblers, thinkers, people who want space, freedom, and maybe a little color to show for it. They don't come out here to follow the rules. They come out here to make their own.
Where there's solitude, there's creativity, and Lightning Ridge has plenty of both. Not necessarily the kind you find in a nice big shiny gallery like you do in the major cities. The kind out here just sort of happens.
So another thing to do in Lightning Ridge is going through the car door tour. Now, very excited. There's four colors of car door. So we got the yellow tour, the orange tour, the red one, and the blue one.
And there's also green.
And there's, okay. Like, each of them are in a different area of town, and we've seen a bit a couple of days when we arrived, but now we're doing the real tour. And what they've done is pretty cool. They took car doors, I don't know if they painted it or whatever, and basically you follow the doors and they lead you to really interesting places. So I'm pretty keen.
So where we were staying in Grawin is the start of the orange door tour. But here in town, we're gonna hit up the blue and red, and there are some things here that I would not expect to find in Australia. So I'm keen to see what we find.
This first castle is actually very impressive. It's just so weird, like there's nothing around, it's just that. And I think it's called the glass house, which is super cool. I think what's happening is, from what I heard, is that people are having their claim, and because it's theirs and it's like their land, their territory kind of thing, there's not necessarily regulations about how you decide to have your camp or your claim close by. So people ended up doing whatever they wanted, and that's very cool. And then that's how you find places like a glass house, sorry, and then just the ridge castle. It's pretty cool, but I'm like, what, like, how and why? But then I guess the answer is just because people are kind of artsy, you know, and that's what they decide to do with their free time, and the side of them that was loving art. Pretty cool. This house is made entirely with cans and also bottles of wine, bottles of beers. Even the inside, it's so cool.
And that's the kind of rhythm out here. If it can be built, someone's going to give it a go. And just down the road, there are murals that stretch across anything that holds paint. Most of them have been done by a guy named John Murray, a local artist who paints the outback with a dry sense of humour and deep affection. Our favourites were some of the Aussie animals that were frozen mid-thought or stuck in some absurd misadventure. Then there are the locals' backyards. There are piles of metal and timber everywhere. At first we thought they all looked like total chaos, but we later found out that they are all just projects in waiting. Everything out here has a use, everything is practical. Some things need to be fixed, some things need to be turned beautiful, and the best part is out here, you don't even need permission to fix it.
Lightning Ridge isn't just about the dirt and the opals and the art, though those are all part of it. It's easy to forget the nature that surrounds this place. Out here, the sky puts on a show. Sunrises and sunsets that stretch for miles. And underneath it all, there's the Great Artesian Basin, one of the largest underground water reservoirs in the world. Feeding the boar bath and carving out a kind of quiet magic in the middle of the outback. There's more to Lightning Ridge than meets the eye.
It feels so good. We've been so cold in the van lately, so this is a real luxury.
And after all the color and chaos and curiosity of this strange little town, we finished our time the best way possible. Soaking in the hot boar bath on a freezing winter morning. Steam rising, sky glowing, and the kind of peace we hadn't found all week.
Clearly, with how I'm speaking, my body feels very relaxed. Especially in this cold weather, it feels like a really, really hot hug. It's great. I highly recommend to come to Lightning Ridge. It was an incredible experience. Like, there's so much to see, so many people to talk to as well. Like, everyone that we found anyway was very nice in their own way. So thank you to Lightning Ridge to have offered that to us. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and you can comment under the video, would you come here?
Oh, you're cute.
Gold fever is a need of greed. Opal is a passion for colour. Right? They're a totally different animal. I've mined both. Right? And opal is a passion. It doesn't matter how much gold you got, you'll never satisfy. But opal, you'll never get rid of it. Right? You're always satisfied with what you're finding, but you always want to find the next one, the next bit. Magic stuff, to see that colour the first